Last night, we saw a matchup between two of the best point guards in the NBA, Indiana Pacers' Tyrese Haliburton and Memphis Grizzlies' Ja Morant. Not only are these two some of the best point guards in the NBA, but they also are two of the most unique players in the NBA. With the rise of Haliburton combined with the 25-game suspension of Ja Morant, it's become a very interesting debate about who's better between the two. No matter what you think the answer is, it's very close regardless, and in this video I want to talk about why these two are very different players, and why they are unique in their own way. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about these two elite point guards. Here's the one thing that Ja and Haliburton have in common. They both weren't highly recruited coming out of high school, both were two-year college players, and both significantly raised their draft stock as sophomores in college, but really outside of that, they are very different players. Let's start with the scoring. Ja Morant is known as a rim pressure scorer, as over his previous two seasons, he's in the 99th percentile in terms of rim volume, and he's been no lower than the 94th percentile in rim volume for his career. On top of that, he's in the 98th percentile in free throw attempts over his previous two seasons, and has been no lower than the 91st percentile in free throw attempts in his career. He uses his athletic tools to attack the basket at a high level, speed and quickness to beat defenders to spots, explosiveness to finish above the rim, body control and flexibility to finish at angles that can't be contested. He's not much of a shooter. He more uses shooting as a leverage than a focal point. Low to mid 30s on decent volume. It's more of something that he can use to punish defenses from time to time, showing he has the confidence to take them when given the opportunity when defenses go to drive. But even with defenses going to drive for the most part, he still can't really be stopped, as he's a 27 point per game player since reaching all-star status. He may not be the 3-point shooting shot creator that other top tier point guards are, but his production and team success clearly show that this is still a way to be a superstar level player. Haliburton is a very different type of scorer. He fits more what the modern NBA is, which is why a lot of people actually prefer him. He's not the rim pressure threat or foul drawer that Ja is. He's in the 79th percentile in rim volume and 88th percentile in free throw attempts. In many ways, he's the inverse of what Ja Morant is as a scorer. Haliburton isn't an elite rim pressure threat, but he's improved in this area to the point where he can leverage that skill as a complement to his real focal point as a scorer, which is his 3-point shooting, the same way Ja has leveraged his ability to hit an occasional three to leverage his focal point of being a rim pressure threat. Haliburton is one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. He's uber efficient on high volume, but where his most value as a 3-point shooter lies is his ability to score both on and off the ball, which also applies to his offense in general. Haliburton has grown into a really good self-creator since entering the NBA, to the point where he can be a legit high-level primary option. But what always has made him special entering the NBA was his ability to be the super smart player off the ball. And because he already had incredible off-ball value, now that he is a really good on-ball player, it makes him lineup and role versatile. While it may not look the most conventional to say the least, his scoring is very effective, and it's proven to be a part of a rise to potential superstardom. Now, in terms of playmaking, it's interesting because both are high-paced playmakers, both are incredibly smart, high-feel playmakers, but the process and approach is very different between the two. Tyrese Haliburton is a playmaker that's known for his efficiency, an incredible assist-to-turnover ratio, incredible decision-making, incredible vision, and incredible accuracy. But don't get twisted, he's very good in terms of manipulation and advantage creation, which has led to historic assist production. His playmaking is very much like his scoring. Versatile. He can be a player that is elite off the ball, which is something he's been since entering the NBA. Entering the NBA, he immediately came in and was one of the best connecting playmakers, but he's also grown into a legit primary playmaker due to his handle and shot creation getting better. He leverages his scoring gravity to create opportunities for others in the half court, whether it's on or off the ball, as well as growing as that great pass manipulator, which adds to lineup and role versatility, and he pushes the pace in transition. It may look unconventional just like his scoring, but it's very clear that he is one of the best playmakers in the NBA when you watch the tape. I do think his assist per game numbers are a bit inflated by the offensive scheme in Indiana, but it's not a big enough inflation to make a major deal about it. It's the difference between 12 assists per game and 10 assists per game. And on top of that, I think it might be a case like James Harden where, yeah, the system inflates the assist production, but at the same time, those are also valuable reps that could make Haliburton a 10 plus assist per game player long term, even outside of that system. Ja Morant is an athletic-based playmaker. He's also very underrated as a playmaker. He's one of the smartest players in the NBA and doesn't get enough credit for that, and I think a lot of that has to do with the highlights and how viral the dunks can be. But regardless, he's one of the best and most unique playmakers in the NBA because he utilizes athleticism in ways that nobody else can as a playmaker. His vision is off the charts, his feel for the game is off the charts, and he uses athleticism to create angles and advantages that can't be stopped because nobody else has athleticism to match that. He's the best mid-air playmaker in the NBA. But where he thrives the most is in chaos. Chaos that he creates, and he's more controlled within that chaos than people want to admit. He knows better than anyone that opposing defenses can't stop him from attacking the basket 1v1. So they bring help defense, and he always knows that there will be a teammate open, and he's very good at finding that teammate. Also is a great manipulator. Head fakes, the looks, behind the backs, among other arsenals in his game to create advantages for those around him. He processes opposing defenses at a pace that very few can, and he may not be a 10 plus assist per game player, but he's also a lot closer to the top half of the top 10 playmakers in the NBA than the bottom half of the top 10 playmakers in the NBA, just off watching him play. Ja Morant and Tyrese Haliburton are two of the bright young future superstars in the NBA, both polarizing and unique in their own way. If you were to ask me right now who I think is the better of the two, I would say Ja Morant. He's a more proven player at this point, despite both of them being in the league around the same amount of time. He's historically one of the best young playoff performers in NBA history, and he's a more natural scorer in the sense of taking over games. I'm not saying Haliburton can't take over games, that would be ridiculous, but it does come a bit more natural to Ja. However, I'm not going to be mad at you if you say it's Haliburton, because he is a very compelling case as someone who fits the modern NBA better, and it really comes down to personal preference because the line between those two is that marginal. Regardless, both are incredible players, both will make All-Star and All-NBA teams for years to come, and I think both will be in heavy MVP consideration in their primes, as well as two of the faces of the next generation of point guards, which is why I can't wait to see how both of them pan out in their NBA careers, because at the pace these two are on already as really young players, that's a pace where if they keep it up for another 5 to 8 years, we're going to be talking about both of them as Hall of Famers. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, notify whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Let me know what you think about Ja Morant and Tyrese Haliburton in the comment section below. Who do you think is better now? who do you think will be better long term? Leave all of that down below. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.